All right, welcome back to Black Lodge Trivia Night. This is Art, and we are continuing our run of Skyrim. I think we're on part 007. If you remember last time, which actually I gotta be honest with you, I don't too much. I think we went to like a sky temple somewhere, saw some dragon stuff as part of the main story, and then we continued the Thieves Guild questline, which involved a little betrayal, a little conspiracy. So let's I think Carly, I think this is the Mercer Frey. Yeah, he's the head of the Thieves Guild, and apparently he murdered the last leader of it. So, and the person we were tracking down, Carly, it turned out to be, you know, the companion of the former leader and partner and romantic partner, and there you go. So now the other thing I wanted to do really quickly is I wanted to figure out what is the main story quest. And I don't know if I'm going to remember. Oh, this is what it is. Okay, so let's start with this. Let's deselect the pursuit. Let's take a look at the throat of the world. With Esbern's help, I deciphered Alduin's wall and the Skyhaven temple. It revealed that Alduin was defeated in ancient times by a shout of some kind. Maybe the Greybeards can teach me this shout, or at least tell me how I can learn it. So I need to talk to Arngeir. I assume Arngeir is going to be... boom, boom, boom. Yeah, back here at the High Hrothgar. So let's see if we can just fast travel there. Spring is in the air. You can see I've been able to forego the hoodie that I wear for like 7 months out of the year. Weather's beautiful outside, so I've opened the windows to keep Mother Nature at a distance, but still get some of that fresh air. And it's just a warning because I might sneeze. I have some, I guess, allergies, and I just might sneeze. Also, I was nervous I was gonna like bagel and cream cheese in my teeth, but I think I managed to not be that much of a shit show. But it's good to get back to this. You know, I often say that because of how I record stuff, the schedule is somewhat regular in theory, but my recording is not. So it's now April 4th. It's probably been almost a month since I put any time into Skyrim.
Sky above, voice within.
And that's too long. I've been really enjoying this. I need to learn the shout used to defeat Alduin. Let me start with I'd like to learn more about the voice.
You have learned so much already, Dragonborn. Growing your gift too quickly would be dangerous. But there are many words of power in Skyrim, carved in the dragon tongue. Even from here we can feel the Thum resonate from them. Finding these lost words would be a sufficient test to temper your abilities with experience. Ask when you are ready to search.
Okay, so a little bit of a level gate, I guess. Have you located any words of power?
We have felt the whisper of a word. Give me your map and I will show you where its echo can be found.
Nice. Find the word of power in Northwind Summit. Okay, so now to the quest. I need to learn the shout used to defeat Alduin.
Where did you learn of that? Who have you been talking to?
Oh. Interesting. Okay, so this is a little bit of forbidden knowledge. I mean, I guess, like, he's the one who sent me on the quest, I thought. Was it I'm not going to mention the blades.
The blades, of course.
Nope.
They specialize in meddling in matters they barely understand. Their reckless arrogance knows no bounds. They have always sought to turn the Dragonborn from the path of wisdom. Have you learned nothing from us? Would you simply be a tool in the hands of the blades to be used for their own purposes?
The blade. Ooh, okay. So now I don't know why. I feel like it selected the blades option, but maybe admitting that it was on the wall is enough to tip my hand. The blades just want to defeat Alduin, don't you? The blades are helping me. I'm not their puppet, or at least the blades aren't keeping secrets. I'm gonna go with the middle one. Flip it back on him.
What I want is irrelevant. This shout was used once before, was it not? And here we are again. Have you considered that Alduin was not meant to be defeated? Those who overthrew him in ancient times only postponed the day of reckoning. They did not stop it. If the world is meant to end, so be it. Let it end and be reborn.
So you won't help me?
No, not now. Not until you return to the path of wisdom. Forgive me, I was intemperate. I allowed my emotions to cloud my judgment. Master Einarth reminded me of my duty. The decision whether or not to help you is not mine to make.
So, can you teach me this shout?
No, I cannot teach it to you, because I do not know it. It is called Dragon Rend, but its words of power are unknown to us. We do not regret this loss. Dragon Rend holds no place within the way of the voice.
I thought you knew all the words of power. Okay, or so what's so bad? I'm sure I'm going to get a chance at all of them. So I'm going to go with the first option.
But not Dragon Rend. The knowledge of that shout was lost in the time before history began. Perhaps only its creators ever knew it, but I am not the one to speak of it to you.
What's so bad about Dragon Rend?
It was created by those who had lived under the unimaginable cruelty of Alduin's dragon cult. Their whole lives were consumed with hatred for dragons, and they poured all their anger and hatred into this shout. When you learn a shout, you take it into your very being. In a sense, you become the shout. In order to learn and use this shout, you will be taking this evil into yourself.
If the shout is lost, how can I defeat Alduin?
Only Paarthurnax, the master of our order, can answer that question, if he so chooses.
Now, Paarthurnax, is that a name that has come up before?
He is our leader. He surpasses us all in his mastery of the way of the voice.
Why have I not met Paarthurnax yet?
He lives in seclusion on the very peak of the mountain. He speaks to us only rarely, and never to outsiders. Being allowed to see him is a great privilege.
Sort of like Beyonce. How do I get to the top of the mountain to see him?
Only those whose voice is strong can find the path. We will teach you a shout to open the way to Paarthurnax.
So, I mean, it's not unique to Souls titles, but the idea of like cycles and the death and rebirth of the world or existence. In Dark Souls, the side, the first game at least, the side that's the easiest to encounter the story on, wants to push that off as much as possible. They want to delay. They want to hold on to what they have. And then the other side that's a little harder to encounter is like, we have to let it go. You know, what's being done in the pursuit of delaying potentially the inevitable is evil or awful, or it's too high of a cost. You know, people are being turned into hollows and stashed in northern asylums. You know, like, at some point, like, you can't escape the inevitable, and you're just doing indescribable harm attempting to do so.
The path to Paarthurnax lies through this gate. I will show you how to open the way.
So it seems like that's a little bit of what we've got going on here.
Look.
Learn the clear skies shout.
Core. I will grant you my understanding of clear skies. This is your final gift from us, Dragonborn. Use it well. Clear skies will blow away the mist, but only for a time. The path to Paarthurnax is perilous, not to be embarked upon lightly. Keep moving, stay focused on your goal, and you will reach the summit.
Okay, so let me first and foremost, I put in my favorites. I'm not gonna lie, again, it's been a little bit magic, I think. Favorites, I think it's shouts. Now, I thought I saw clear skies. Okay, sky, spring, summer. Okay.
Lok Bakur! Lok Va! Lok Va!
Dropped. You're like I was about to say, I feel like I should just give in and use one-handed weapons.
Lok Va!
Yeah, let me, oops. Oh, this dagger is scorching. All right.
Look! Va!
Just curious, are we still... Yeah, look at that. But yeah, they sort of had the same thing here, right? Like, you know, the shout was used in the past. Clearly, we're back in this position. So
Look!
there is a potentially logical flaw to your plan. It didn't work the first time. Maybe what the blades are saying is not the throat of the world, is not the actual answer to the problem.
Drem Yolok, greetings, Wundernik. I am Parthenax. Who are you? What brings you to my Strunmach, my mountain?
I wasn't expecting you to be a dragon.
I am as my father Akatosh made me, as are you, Dovahkiin. Tell me, why do you come here, Volan? Why do you intrude on my meditation?
I need to learn the Dragon Rend shout. Can you teach me?
Drem, patience. There are formalities which must be observed at the first meeting of two of the Dove. By long tradition, the Elder speaks first. Hear my Thum. Feel it in your bones. Match it, if you are Dovahkiin. The word calls you. Go to it. A gift, Dovahkiin. You'll understand fire as the Dove do. Now, show me what you can do. Greet me not as mortal, but as Dova.
All right, so let's add that to our favorites because that's pretty cool. Here we go. Now we're going to go to favorites. Going to go to Fire Breath.
Yol!
Ah, yes. Sosedo Vlostmul. The dragon blood runs strong in you. It is long since I had the pleasure of speech with one of my own kind. So, you have made your way here to me. No easy task for a jaw, mortal. Even for one of Dovasos, dragon blood. What would you ask of me?
Can you teach me the dragon rend shout? Now, it seems like a weird thing to ask a dragon to teach me the shout that would rend a dragon.
I have expected you, Proda. You would not come all this way for Tinvak with an old Dova. No, you seek your weapon against Alduin.
How did you know I came for dragon rend? So I don't know if I'm missing some subtlety here. I just told him, but maybe he sort of first saw it or something.
Alduin Comate Teed. What else would you seek? Alduin and Dovahkiin return together. But I do not know the Thum you seek. Croesus, it cannot be known to me. Your kind, Jor, mortals, created it as a weapon against the Dove, the dragons. Our Hadrime, our minds, cannot even comprehend its concepts.
How can I learn it then?
Drem, all in good time. First, a question for you. Why do you want to learn this Thum?
I need to stop Alduin. It's none of your business. I like this world. I don't want it to end. There's a truth there that I'm going to go with.
Prusa, as good a reason as any. There are many who feel as you do, although not all. Some would say that all things must end, so that the next can come to pass. Perhaps this world is simply the egg of the next Kalpa, Lin Vokin. Would you stop the next world from being born?
The next world will have to take care of itself.
Paz, a fair answer. Rofus, maybe you only balance the forces that work to quicken the end of this world. Even we who ride the currents of time cannot see past time's end. Wulsetid los trahodis. Those who try to hasten the end may delay it. Those who work to delay the end may bring it closer. But you have indulged my weakness for speech long enough. Croesus, now I will answer your question. Do you know why I live here at the peak of the Monavin, what you name throat of the world?
Do I know why? Like dragons? No, I never thought about it as probably more accurate. Because before the start of this game, when I was about to get my head chopped off, I wasn't probably thinking about dragons at all.
This is the most sacred mountain in Skyrim, Zokravak Struma, the great mountain of the world. Here, the ancient tongues, the first mortal masters of the voice, brought Alduin to battle and defeated him.
Using the dragon rend shout, right?
Yes and no. Viknuzny Karon. Alduin was not truly defeated either. If he was, you would not be here today seeking to defeat him. The Nords of those days used the Dragon Rend shout to cripple Alduin, but this was not enough. Ok Mulag Unslad. It was the Kell, the Elder Scroll. They used it to cast him adrift on the currents of time.
God damn it, we're going to use the title in dialogue. An Elder Scroll, what's that?
How to explain in your tongue? The Dove have words for such things that Jor do not. It is an artifact from outside time. It does not exist, but it has always existed. Rahwalan. They are fragments of creation. The Kele, Elder Scrolls as you name them, they have often been used for prophecy. Yes, your prophecy comes from an Elder Scroll. But this is only a small part of their power. Zofasuyer.
Are you saying the ancient Nord sent Alduin forward in time?
Not intentionally. Some hoped he would be gone forever, forever lost. Meye. I knew better. Tidbo Amativ. Time flows ever onward. One day he would surface. Which is why I have lived here. For thousands of mortal years, I have waited. I knew where he would emerge, but not when.
Okay, I feel like there's less assholey ways to phrase this, but let's go with it. How does any of this help me?
Tid Krent. Time was shattered here because of what the ancient Nords did to Alduin. If you brought that Kell, that Elder Scroll back here to the Tid Ahran, the Time Wound, with the Elder Scroll that was used to break time, you may be able to cast yourself back to the other end of the break. You could learn Dragonrend from those who created it.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Do you know where I can find an Elder Scroll?
Crosis, no. I know little of what has passed below in the long years I have lived here. You are likely better informed than I.
I guarantee you, in this game as in life, I am not. Esbern Arngir may have some idea.
Trust your instincts, Dovahkiin. Your blood will show you the way.
Alright, what do I do with the Elder Scroll when I find it?
Return it here to the Tid Ahran. Then, Kele Vomindok. Nothing is certain with such things. But I believe the scroll's bond with the Tid Ahran will allow you a seeing, a vision of the moment of its creation. Then you will feel, know Dragonrend in the power of its first expression. You will see them, Wuthfadon, my friends, Haken, Gormlaith, Feldir.
Haken, Gormlaith, Feldir, who are they?
The first mortals that I taught the Thum, the first tongues, the leaders of the rebellion against Alduin. They were mighty in their day, even to attempt to defeat Alduin. Sachrot Hun. The Nords have had many heroes since, but none greater.
How could an Elder Scroll cast Alduin through time?
Vormindok, I do not know. Perhaps in the very doing, they erased the knowing of it from time itself. The Dove are children of Akatosh. Thus, we are specially attuned to the flow of time. Perhaps also uniquely vulnerable. I warned them against such a rash action. Even I could not foresee its consequences. Nust Lihon, they would not listen.
You mean you were there?
Yes. There were a few of us that rebelled against Alduin Stur, his tyranny. We aided the humans in his overthrow. But they did not trust us, ni Ov. Their inner counsels were kept hidden from us. I was far from here on the day of Alduin's downfall, but all Dove felt the sundering of time itself.
What does the Dragon Wren shout actually do?
I cannot tell you in detail. I never heard it used. Kogan. It was the first Thum created solely by mortals. It was said to force a dragon to experience the concept of mortality. A truly von Mindoran. Incomprehensible idea to the immortal Dove.
You're the master of the Greybeards. Do others come here to train?
I have taught the way of the voice for centuries, and the Thum since long before that. But no, Dovahkiin. Others do not come here to train anymore. Saran, you are the first in over 100 years. I meditate on the Rotmulag, the words of power. I counsel in their use. It is enough for me.
You meditate on the words. How?
Knowing a word of power is to take its meaning into yourself. Contemplate the meaning of a Rotmulag. You will become closer to that word as it fills your inner self. Will I teach you, Dovahkiin? What word calls you to deeper understanding? There are 3 to master. Fus, Faim, and Yol.
Oos.
It is called force in your tongue. But as you push the world, so does the world push back. Think of the way force may be applied effortlessly. Imagine but a whisper pushing aside all in its path. That is Fus. Let its meaning fill you. Sum Ark Mora. You will push the world harder than it pushes back.
Wish to meditate on a word of power.
Which calls to you, Dovahkiin? Fus, Faim, or Yol?
I didn't know what the other 2 stood for. Oos is force. What's Faim?
Fade in your tongue. Mortals have greater affinity for this word than the Dove. Everything mortal fades away in time, but the spirit remains. Ponder the meaning of spirit, Unslad Zi. Where mortal flesh may wither and die, the spirit endures. That is fine. Let that meaning fill you. Sum arc mora. You will find that your spirit will give you more strength.
I wish to meditate on a word of power.
Which calls to you, Dovahkiin? Fus, Faim, or Yol?
All right, let's learn a little bit about Yol.
In your tongue, the word simply means fire. It is change given form, power at its most primal. That is the true meaning of Yol. Solyek, power. You have it, as do all Dove. But power is inert without action and choice. Think of this as the fire builds in your sum, in your breath. Sum arc mora. What will you burn? What will you spare?
Okay, the fire within added. That might be it.
Dremyolok, greetings.
There we go. I think I've exhausted all the dialogue options with Parthenax.
Lok Thum.
I'm kind of curious. Let me just check the map. Is this somewhere I'm going to be able to fast travel to? Throat of the World. Looks like it is. Okay. Yeah, let's fast travel back to High Hrothgar. So that's what's called an exposition dump. There was such a lengthy exposition dump that day turned to night, and I don't mean that like in a flippant way. Like, that's kind of the trick with fantasy and sci-fi, right? There's gonna be a ton of stuff that is basically made up whole cloth, and there's no way often, I mean, that's not true. It is a real trick to get that knowledge into the hands of the reader, the player, without moments like we just had where somebody stops everything, time passes, and yeah, you you just have to be given a baseline of information. And it's why I often actually don't read science fiction and fantasy. Talk to Esbern or talk to Arngir. So I guess we've got two options. Arngir, I feel like, is going to be in support of the dragons. Esbern is a Blades, which is, the sort of secret society that was fighting against the dragons. I think I said in the last session I like the idea of the Blades, and there's a part of me that really wants to lean that way. It says, I met the master of the Greybeards. He told me that if I can use ancient Nords, that the ancient Nords used an Elder Scroll to cast Alduin forward in time. If I can recover that same Elder Scroll, I may be able to learn it directly from the ancient heroes. That's kind of an interesting premise, right? Like, yeah, the shout you need doesn't exist now. It exists 1,000 years ago. So let's do a heist, which is sort of, what was kind of brilliant about the second Avengers Infinity War, whatever that two-parter was. Like, it turns into like a time-traveling heist movie, which is not a bad hook. I think I'm gonna go talk to Esbern. But yeah, so that's always a trick with science fiction and fantasy, and it's often, like I was saying, why I don't usually read it, because eventually, whether it's done in a massive dump, and to be fair, like, it's not just a problem with fantasy and sci-fi, like, Ayn Rand in her who is John Galt, Atlas Shrugged, it's like a 200 something whatever page shit of just of talking at you. So, and that's not so much exposition, it's just her kind of bullshit, taking center stage for a while. Like, but you know, a lot of times with science fiction and fantasy, either there's something like what just happened in the story, and I'm just like, I don't, you know, this is too much. Or what you get is, you know, in the hands of lesser sci-fi authors, or I guess fantasy authors, it's like, you know, Tom approached the spaceship door, and with the hydraulics powered by Ionian constructs, the negative repulsor lifts spun, and you're just like, dude, you're telling me how the door opens because you're trying to fill me in on either world building or technology that, you know, probably doesn't really matter at this moment, but it's an exposition dump, and I often don't have a lot of patience for that. There's High Hrothgar, but where is the other guy? He's over here in Sky Temple. Yeah, so let's fast travel there. And it can be a real trick to... I like to write. I've tried to write science fiction. I've never really tried to write fantasy. But I like the idea that, you know, you got to work it in naturally, even though that seems counterintuitive. I'm not successful. That's why I've never pulled it off. And then you got to know, like, don't worry about it. You know, like, this is so routine to your characters in the moment that the description of it wouldn't register. If that makes sense. That's how I sort of approach it. You know, when I attempt to write this stuff. I do very much take it like a don't worry about it. You know, like, and it's not because, like, maybe I haven't thought about it. It's because the character I'm in the moment with would not have thought about it.
I used to dream of it. In the dream I was standing someplace high up, a tower or a mountain. It was always just before dawn. The whole world was in darkness. Then came the flash of light, just on the horizon, within the clouds that mark the border between worlds. It could have been lightning, but there was no thunder. In the dream, the sense of foreboding grew, but I could never wake up. Then it came again, this time more distinct, closer. Definitely not lightning. Now it was orange, brilliant orange, the color of hearth and dawn, and a sound too, distinct and indistinct. Not thunder, something else, something I should recognize, but in the dream I cannot place it. I want to leave my high place to seek shelter from what I don't yet know. In the manner of dreams, I cannot escape. I'm forced to wait and watch. Then, finally, realization and horror arrive together. The orange is flame, heat, the sound, the roar, a challenge in their ancient tongue. But now it's too late for escape. The dragon is upon me, fire and darkness descending like a thunderbolt. And not just any dragon, but the dragon, Aldrin, the world eater, the dragon who devours both the living and the dead. And then I would wake up and hope that it was just a dream, but know that it was not. Ah, you're back. I hope you've made some progress on tracking down this shout we need to defeat Alduin.
She's in there going like, I'm sick of you. I'm sick of this guy. I wonder if they are going to do something narratively with the fact that this guy here, Esbern...
You're back. I hope you've made some progress on tracking down this shout we need to defeat Alduin.
Okay, what I was about to say is my hope is that they're going to pay off the fact that Esbern and the leader of the temple I just came from, obviously not the dragon, the other one that's been teaching us the shouts, are both voiced by Maximum Sydow. So I'm hoping there's a reason for that. And not just Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, where Gimli is also the voice of Treebeard, and it's just like, I can tell.
Ah, indeed. There's a pretty puzzle. Not the kind of thing you will find in your local bookshop. Let me think.
Perhaps the College of Winterhold. What learning there is in Skyrim is gathered there. One of the mages there may be able to put you on the trail of this Elder Scroll.
Okay, so the change in voice there is like if I were going to try and do a De Niro impersonation, right? Like somehow, I don't know why they had to re-record that line, but it looks like they didn't get Mr. Sydow's voice for it. Okay, any idea where to find the Elder Scroll? What's so important about me being a Dragonborn? Let's start with the first one.
Do you know the College of Winterhold? They have a deep interest in such arcana.
What's so important about me being a Dragonborn?
Haven't you been paying attention to anything I've said? Only you can finally defeat Alduin and avert the end of the world. If we can just find out what this dragon-rend shout is, you may have a chance. Or not. There's no guarantee with prophecy. Merely hope.
And any advice for fighting dragons?
You're in luck. There is a blessing the blades used on the eve of battle. It's supposed to prepare the mind for slaying dragons. I doubt the blessing's effects will last for very long. So ask whenever you're heading out, and I'll perform the proper rites.
Okay. Again, it doesn't sound like they got Mr. Von Sydow's voice for that. I need that dragon slaying blessing.
May the scales of the dragon kind splinter at the touch of your arrows and crack under the weight of your sword. That's all there is to it, Dragonborn. Good luck.
Okay, we got the Dragon Slayer's blessing.
Goodbye, then.
Okay, so we've made a choice. Check the map. So we got to go to the College of Winterhold. There's a number of reasons why we need to go there. Is it also part of our Thieves Guild quest? Okay, I met the Master of the Greybeards, the Dragon Parthenax. He told me that the ancient Nords used an Elder Scroll to cast Alduin Ford in time. Okay. Learn the location of the Elder Scroll. Okay. The Pursuit. I'm going to tag this as well. Let's learn the location of the Elder Scroll. Where is... Meeting Carly and the Red Flagon.
Sorry, I'm afraid I can't help you.
How can a humble servant of Palos help you today?
I am not remembering how to get to...
Selling fine jewelry here.
I thought it was behind these walls.
Tell about it. Talos bless you, my child.
Did I miss something? Did I lose access because I sided with Carlia? Can I fast travel there? Hopefully. I cannot. Okay, so we gotta find our way. So, since the last time I recorded, I'm just, just as the sausage gets made, it is April 4th,
As crisp as a winter's morning.
Saturday. I'm going to have to potentially take a couple of breaks as I record this. I'll string them together all in one chunk, but... Okay, Family's out of town, so I have the house to myself, which is... I've been having a lot of trouble finding time in general, but in time to be able to activate the camera. And sometimes, you know, I talk about... I used to have all my setup in the basement. And then I had to stop because we got flooded, and then we added to the house and added a new section of the basement that has better... hopefully sort of solves some of the issues we had with flooding and adds other protections. And so I'm tempted to move back down there. I'm torn because there's something nice being here in the little office that we have. It's a little more cozy. It's on the first floor so that when I use my computer, I'm not completely isolated in the basement away from everybody. The basement, I would need to figure out... I would have to actually, for the first time, think about like real sound treatment because it's a cinder block basement wall. Here we go.
I'm glad you're here. I think some of these people are beginning to suspect who I am. Are you ready to face the guild?
What if Mercer's there?
Then we show them Gallus's journal and hope for the best. Remember, we have proof and all he's got is his word.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm ready. Let's go.
Keep your eyes open. I'm not sure what to expect when we enter the cistern.
You know what? Does this work? Yeah, let's do a quick save.
You better have a damn good reason to be here with that murderer.
Please, lower your weapons so we can speak. I have proof that you've all been misled.
No tricks, Carlia, or I'll cut you down where you stand. Now what's this so-called proof you speak of?
I have Gallus's journal. I think you'll find its contents disturbing.
Let me see. No, it can't be. This can't be true. I've known Mercer too long.
It's true, Brynjolf. Every word. Mercer's been stealing from the guild for years, right under your noses.
There's only one way to find out if what the lass says is true. Delvin, I'll need you to open the vault.
Wait just a blessed moment, Bryn. What's in that book? What did it say?
It says Mercer's been stealing from a vault for years. Gallus was looking into it before he was murdered.
How can Mercer open up a vault that needs 2 keys? It's impossible. Could he pick his way in?
That door has the best puzzle locks money can buy. There's no way it can be picked open.
Pick the lock.
What's she on about?
Use your key on the vault, Delvin. We'll open it up and find out the truth.
I've used my key, but the vault's still locked up tighter than a drum. Now use yours.
It's gone. Everything's gone. Get in here, all of you.
The gold, the jewels, it's all gone.
Bitch, I'll kill him.
Vex, put it away, right now. We can't afford to lose our heads. We need to calm down and focus.
Do what he says, Vex. This ain't helping right now.
Fine. We do it your way. For now.
Delvin, Vex, watch the flagon. If you see Mercer, come tell me right away.
All right, follow Carlia. Speak to Brynjolf. Okay.
Brynjolf, eh? Let me guess. He just plucked you off the street and dropped you into the thick of things without telling you which way is up. Am I right?
Look, before I help you track Mercer down, I need to know what you learned from Carlia. I mean, everything.
All right, Mercer. Let's start with the obvious. Mercer killed Gallus, not Carlia.
I feared that was the case. From that last entry in Gallus's diary, it looks like he was getting close to exposing Mercer to the Guild. Anything else?
Now we're going to drop a truth bomb. They were all nightingales.
What? Nightingales? But I always assumed they were just a tale. A way to keep the young footpads in line. Was there anything else she told you?
She was behind Golden Glow and Honing Brew.
Trying to make Mercer look bad in front of Maven, eh? Clever lass. Was there anything else?
I wonder if there was more information I was supposed to be able to decipher, but I missed it.
Then I have an important task for you. I need you to break into Mercer's home and search for anything that could tell us where he's gone.
He has a house in Riften?
Aye. A gift from the Blackbriars after they kicked the previous family out. Place called Riftweald Manor. He never stays there, just pays for the upkeep on it. Hired some lout by the name of Vold to guard the place.
I'll take care of it.
Be careful, lass. This is the last place in Skyrim I'd ever want to send you. Just find a way in, get the information and leave. And you have permission to kill anyone that stands in your way.
Oh. Okay, what's the best way to get into Riftweald Manor?
Good question. I've only set foot inside a few times myself, and that was in Mercer's company. If you can get past his trained watchdog, I think your best bet might be the ramp to the second floor balcony in his backyard.
I don't suppose that ramp is easy to access.
No. It's some sort of crazy contraption Mercer commissioned for quick escapes. I'd wager a well-placed shot at the ramp's mechanism would lower it in a hurry.
All right, what's missing from the vault?
Better question would be, what did he leave? Mercer took everything. Even all of our plans are gone.
Plans for what?
Before Mercer took over, Gallus started collecting every bit of material he could on locations the Guild could heist. Museums, keeps, estates, you name it. By the time Mercer took over the Guild, we must have had a few dozen.
How could you have opened the vault door alone?
I don't have a clue. That door is impenetrable. Without 2 keys, it's impossible to open. I have a key, Delvin has a key, and Mercer has a key. That's it. There are no other copies.
You mentioned a watchdog.
Huh. That'd be Vold. A real piece of work, that one. Mercer's holding something over his head, keeping him loyal. Talk to Vex. She used to know him very well, if you catch my meaning.
All right, let's speak to Vex about Vold.
Careful at Mercer's place. I don't want to lose anyone else to that madman.
I can't believe he emptied the vault. Right from under our noses.
Yeah, but where's Vex?
Vex better leave a piece of Mercer for us. It's payback time.
I won't rest until Mercer's dead. How could he murder Gallus and betray all of us like that?
I never saw this coming. I thought we were just having a run of bad luck.
So she was here. She said she was pissed and wanted to kill him herself. Carlia.
Need to stay focused in case Frey comes back. Make it fast.
Hey, Brynjolf said you had some info on Vault.
That pig? Oh, I have info on him. More than you care to know.
Dirge, did you take out the trash like I asked?
Yeah, threw it in the lake.
I want to get on his good side.
Vald? Good side? Think you have the wrong person. The only thing Vald understands is gold. A man after my own heart.
Checked it. All the stuff is in the safe.
So, buy him off.
Sure, but he'll ask for a whole lot. I mean, you are asking him to betray Mercer Frey. Your best bet would be to erase his debt with Maven Blackbriar. If you talk to her, she might be able to give you the details. Of course, you could just run him through and take what you need off his corpse. I could care less.
Okay.
While you're in there, help yourself to anything in Frey's manor. I would.
And of course, it's I couldn't care less. Oh, excuse me, actually. If you could care less, which is what a lot of people often say, it's literally you could care less. What you're trying to say is that you could not care less. You don't care. Again, actually.
I dare Mercer to come back here.
Can I get out this way? Were we locked down?
Mercer to come back here. He sets one foot in the cistern and I'll cut it off.
Okay, so I guess it's back up. Maybe it locked down because I was on the side of the potential betrayer. So first thing we need to do is we need to speak to Vex about Vald. Shoot the mechanism to lower the ramp, infiltrate Mercer's house. I like doing the optional stuff. Speak to Vex about Vald. Let's see if that's somewhere on the map. Were they back down here and I just missed it? I might have missed it. Okay. So at the time of this recording, we have just started getting into Pathfinder Season of Ghosts. I think it's going to be awesome. We did our first session right before this recording.
I dare Mercer to come back here. He sets one foot in the cistern and I'll cut it off.
Need to talk to Vex. See if he's in the Ragged Flagon as well. And an interesting thing came up. You know, the idea, like I asked Matt, you know, you've had a chance to spend a little bit of time getting into Season of Ghosts. It's a...
What gives with that case of Shadow Banish you sold me?
What do you mean?
Even if you're one of us, you better not make trouble.
Anything Cerilli brothers ever made.
It's
Sure, it tastes great.
It's an adventure path that's very well regarded.
You said
and so I asked him, like, do you see that? Like, do you get it now that you spend a little time with it? And he's like, yeah, I do.
Need to stay focused in case Frey comes back. Make it fast.
That's Vex, but I need to talk to... Speak to Vex about Vald. I did. Shoot the mechanism. She mentioned talking to Blackbriar to wipe out a debt.
Refunds.
But none of this is popping up on the quest log. And he was like, you know, and then he sort of asked an interesting question. He's like, have you put any time at the video game The Witcher 3? Which I put a little bit of time. I found the mechanics kind of clunky, and I really should get over it. Because I've heard that what else is there is just amazing, and I should really get over it. And
I dare Mercer to come back here. He sets one.
And that leads to... I've also been, at the time of this recording, been playing Crimson Desert. So when I'm saying like, oh, the clunky mechanics turned me off. And if you heard anything about Crimson Desert, it might be that it has clunky mechanics. But anyway, and he said, you know, there's ways that you can solve what's going on, which is what sort of the character we just spoke to said. You could just run him through and take what you need off his corpse. But you could do it the other way, which accomplishes the same end goal, but does it sort of in a more satisfying way. You know, you get more lore, more nuance, more whatever it is you're getting more of it. And I was like, yes, that is what I want. That's what I always want.
If you've got the coin, you've come to the right place. Pull up a seat.
In role-playing games and all the other jazz. So...
Sorry, I'm afraid I can't help you much right now. I'm currently in mourning.
So when he said that, I was like, yes, that is why I chose the class I did, which is a thaumaturge instead of a human fighter, because I want to be able to investigate. I want to be able to get to the same place, but through
seen me all this upset about anything.
the richer,
Really gets to her.
more interesting path. The problem is I don't know where to get to.
Miol told me that it isn't this bad everywhere. Maybe one day I'll venture out and see if she's right.
So, anyway, so that's, you know. So when they give me the option to do this, like, is there some optional thing I need to do this or that? I'm going to usually try and figure that out. It's going to take a little bit more time, but it's because it's going to get me to the same place, but it's going to get me there along the more scenic. I can get in here pretty easily. I don't know. I assume the arrow is pointing me at the thing I'm supposed to shoot. So let's grab my bow of shadows. Did I take the thing that lets you zoom in?
Thought I heard something.
You did. You heard the ramp that you're standing on collapse. I'm assuming I need to get the key from...
Come on, show yourself.
So what I can't remember is
They're reforming the Dawn Guard. Vampire hunting.
Is the Blackbriar Mead stuff, is that outside of town? Doesn't seem to be. You know what? Here's what we're going to do. Let's take our first break while we figure this out. And I'll be right back. Okay, so taking a little break. We're back. I'm going to go back to...
In the old fort near Riften. I considered joining up myself.
Being the Barb is the only tavern I know of in this town, so let me see if somehow there's a connection here.
Come to the right place. Pull up a seat.
You have some nerve coming back here after what you did to Kirava.
Oh, it's you again. What in blazes do you want?
If your allegiance lies with the Empire, we haven't much to discuss.
Fancy yourself the adventuring type, eh? It's just as well. I doubt your combat prowess would prove valuable in a real battle anyway.
So I also know there's like the brewery, which she was also at, but
It's you. Come to extort me?
Did you get that purchase agreement to Markarth yet?
If you've got a coin, you're welcome here. Otherwise, hit the road.
So I wish that it runs into a little bit of the same problem that I run into with Lord of the Rings Online, where having the world map is good, but I wish there was a map of the town. Like, I've been around the town, I've been to where I'm trying to go. So I wish there was a way to Mistvale Keep. Wish there was a way to remember how to get there.
I was trained by some of the finest warriors in all Skyrim to wield a blade as if it was an
In my head, the brewery was outside of town.
From what I hear, you're the one gave the Thalmor a black eye. Sure know how to pick your enemies, don't you?
So when I was sabotaging... Oh, but that was a brewery down... Yeah, see, now I'm thinking of the brewery outside of the starting town.
The waiting. The goddamned waiting.
So that raises the question, am I actually... Whiterun... The Hunting Brew Meadery is what I sabotaged, but that might be what I'm confusing my recollection with. I thought there was something over here, though. How do I take that marker off? Oh well. There's nothing obvious in the vicinity. Let's make it a normal time, I guess. Maybe I just had it wrong.
If you've got the coin, you've come to the right place. Pull up a seat.
You have some nerve coming back here after what you did to Kirava.
Okay, so let me just see. Okay. Maven Blackbriar is usually found in Riften, specifically in the Bee in the Bar, which is where I am. Haven't had any luck. In the Blackbriar Meadery, her home, Blackbriar Manor, or walking in the marketplace. Temple of Mara is not Blackbriar Manor.
Beautiful marbles and gleaming gemstones over here.
Fancy yourself the adventuring type, eh? It's just as well. I doubt your combat prowess would prove valuable in a real battle anyway.
Oh man, just taking shit, like catching strays for no reason. What's going on? feel like I stole something from here or something. Was that one of the quest chains? Okay, so not having any luck here. But the downside to what I was saying about like taking the scenic quest is that I'm terrible at video games. And you run into this. Not the first time I've not had any idea where to go. Oh shit. Close. Alright, wrong direction. Go a little bit further this way. Nope, too far. There we go. Whoa. To the Brotherhood. I thought your people were supposed to be reliable. I've performed the Black Sacrament. I've paid the proper penance, and I've waited patiently for results. If you can't handle a simple assassination, I'll find someone who can. I want this contract handled, and I want it handled immediately. Maven Blackbriar. Hey, so do you wish to summon the Dark Brotherhood? It's almost like in Evil Dead 2, like, now I'm going to read from the Book of the Dead. And you're like, I don't know if you want to do that. Pray, child, pray, and let the Night Mother hear your plea. You must perform the most profane of rituals, the Black Sacrament. Create an effigy of the intended victim, assembled from actual body parts, including a heart, skull, bones, flesh. Encircle that effigy with candles. The ritual itself must then commence. Proceed to stab the effigy repeatedly. Okay, sweet mother, okay. Alright, dark stuff. So Maven Blackbriar's trying to invoke the aid of the Dark Brotherhood. Probably not a good thing. So she's not at her house. She's not at the Bee and Barb. So now the question is, where is the... Blackbriar Meadery. Let me Google that real quick.
Protect yourself right. Buy armor from Relka.
Blackbriar Meadery location. The western part of the city of Riften. Okay. Oh, is it this building right here? I thought this was the orphanage, yeah. Oh, here we go.
I presume you're bothering me for a good reason. What in the name of oblivion do you want?
I'd like to erase Vald's debt.
Vald? Why would you want to help that idiot? He owes me a steep debt. In fact, he's lucky all I did was force him to work for Mercer.
Ooh, what'd he do?
A few years back, I commissioned a unique quill from a good friend of mine in Winterhold. Vald was tasked with getting it here safely, and it ended up at the bottom of Lake Honrick.
He's in debt because of a quill?
The wizards called it the Quill of Gemination, and demanded a tremendous amount of gold to have it made. If you can locate the quill and return it to me, something Vald was too stupid to do himself, I'll consider the debt satisfied.
Okay. What is the Quill of Gemination?
The quill was supposed to allow me to duplicate any writing I'm viewing in exacting detail. I'm sure you can understand how useful that would prove in a business situation, especially where signatures were involved.
Wow. What if someone else got their hands on it?
Fortunately, the quill required an ink with a unique formula known only to myself. So if you're getting any ideas about selling it to someone else or keeping it, you'll find it would hold little value.
Okay, how did it end up in Lake Unric?
I had Vald meet the caravan from Winterhold on the western end of the lake, so he could avoid the roads. The idiot got lost in the mist and ran his boat right over some rocks, sending it straight to the bottom. He's too stupid to remember where he was, and any attempt I've made to find it in the past has been unsuccessful.
Okay, any ideas where I can look?
Vald said his rowboat struck some rocks. I'd check under the water near one of the small islands in the lake. Perhaps you should start at the docks and work your way out towards Golden Glow Estate.
Okay.
I believe we're done.
No, I believe we're done. That's why I said goodbye. So yeah, I've been playing Crimson Desert, and it was one of those things where it's hard not to see the screenshots and go like, holy cow, that looks
Did you get that purchase agreement?
Stunning. Seeing it in action, it is. It runs well. It looks gorgeous. But, you know, everything you might have heard about the insanely clunky mechanics are 100% true. And at the time of this recording, there's a patch just came out, patch 1.02 or something like that. And they've been making good progress on fixing the controls. They are better. You know, and it's a weird thing where like they just sort of did stuff different than how most people would do stuff. Starting at the docks. And maybe if they had just done it the normal way, they'd be fine. But at the same time, there's so many controls that they're trying to map that it gets a little crazy. So let me just make sure I've got the quest. Let's see, did that. There's something here about the quill. There we go. And then maybe what I need to do is I need to clear the other two for just a sec. Oh, I need to level up, I guess. Okay, so we're at 240, 140. So you start at 100, which means we've done... We've done 14 health. I was trying to do like, I think 4-to-1 ratios. I've done 4 stamina, so I need to do 2 more health. So that'll be like 16. Who knows? I'm just making it all up. Now for the skills. Not quite there yet. Backstabs. Maybe we picked that one up. We got this. What's Assassin's Blade? Oh, shoot. Yeah, I wanted to... Let's do some of that. Let's do some of that. Just to have it ready. I think I should probably double check where is... Eventually you start making your way towards the Golden Glow Estate, so I'm sort of working my way west. They said it was like rocks. That might be the rowboat. Okay, so it's sort of not too far off of where we start. There we go. And so it's an interesting game, and I think in an interesting way, or maybe not in an interesting way, I think it actually is very much... It reminds me a lot of this game, even though in very important ways they have nothing in common. But what they both present to me, Crimson Desert and Skyrim are both sandbox games. Skyrim gives you the tools to the sandbox via quests, via the little things that we're doing here. Mechanics aren't too involved, but there's enough like, hey, talk to this person. Okay, go here, go here. Randomly dynamic generated quest is going to send you to here now and fill this cave with something to do. Crimson Desert does sort of the same thing.
Looking for a handout. You want to speak with my husband.
Through mechanics. So it's like, you know, do this to learn your exploration, and then do this to add a camp, and then that's going to give you a reason to...
I presume you're bothering me for a good reason.
So they both have like a very, really enjoyable, mile-wide, inch-deep...
I don't have time for idle chit-chat. What is it?
But where this game uses story, Crimson Desert uses mechanics. And,
Really? I wrote that off a long time ago. Well, I suppose I need to fulfill my end of the bargain. Give this document to Vald. It frees him from the debt, but I never want to see him in Riften again.
Nice. And it's really good. They're both really good. It definitely takes some getting used to with Crimson Desert, but I think I've gotten to the point where I've sort of gotten used to the basics. And the odds of me like being a master at the bosses are probably 0. There's real difficulty spikes when it comes to bosses, but the first boss I encountered,
Protect yourself right.
got my ass kicked, spent some time exploring the world, upgrading my gear, came back, and it wasn't too bad.
Jewelry with legendary Argonian crafts.
It's not quite the same as Elden Ring, where like you can go over level, but at some point there is a get good aspect to it. I feel like that is less in Crimson Desert, where getting more skills and getting better equipment will cover a lot. So my fear is now, okay, how do I... So now, like, the trick is where's Vald, right? Because I'm not seeing something here. I always learn more about the Thieves Guild from Delvin. I feel like that's something I probably should have done before. Oops. Okay, so now I'm going to quickly Google where's Vald. I apologize for... I guess I'm so used to sort of the way this game leads you by the nose. Where is Vald? Skyrim. Okay, Vald is a Nord bandit found guarding the back door of Riftworld Manor in Riften. Okay. So he might be that guard that reacted to...
Buy some armor and live to tell about it.
the ramp falling down. So this is Riftworld... Oop, barred from the other side. That's Riftworld Manor.
Looking to stay alive? Why take a chance?
Anyway, yeah, it's sort of like it's an interesting juxtaposition, sort of Skyrim and Crimson Desert, because again, they both give me vibes of a game that wants you to just get out and see the whole world, and there's so much to look at, so much to explore. But what drives you to do it is like the complete opposite, and I find it really interesting. Whoa, whoa.
think you're bleeding.
Yeah.
Guess I'm gonna be killing him.
Ha! Found ya.
Maybe I need to talk to him before I drop the...
Ready to die today? Huh? That's not.
I'm getting out of here.
Yeah, you should.
Oh.
Oh well. Didn't work. I tried. What are you gonna do?
Oh, what happened?
Well, you watched me plug him with 35 arrows, so you should know. Barred from the other side, okay. Okay, so I'm free to go nuts on anybody I run into. Ooh, you know what I'm gonna do?
They got that secret.
I'm gonna try it. Let's try it.
Chick can turn wood to gold. Yeah, wish I could turn wood to gold.
What is it like to get a 15 times sneak attack damage? That's pretty cool. I am not gonna lie.
Gotta start keeping a knife in me. Tired of getting disarmed.
Yeah, Crimson Desert, I put a couple sessions up. I called them like a cold plunge because it was me just sort of diving right in, cold. I don't think it's the type of game that is served well for me personally by doing a total 100% Let's Play, just because so much of it is just like, oh, I wonder what's over there. Oh, I wonder what's over there. Here, like I even have said, like I need to specifically make sure I tackle a main story quest every time.
She was lying. Said she'd wait for me, but they never.
Because if I don't, I'll never get anywhere. But also because this one's more story-driven.
There's someone there.
Holy shit, that's good. It makes it like you're less just going over there, and instead you're like, oh, let's go capture the vampire, which will take us over there. But it makes it a little more digestible chunk based as opposed to Crimson Desert, where it's just like, I'm gonna climb that mountain and there might be a puzzle there, there might not, I have no idea, but I'm just gonna go and we'll take it as it comes. There is a story, obviously, a main quest. It takes a long time to get going. But I have started getting, like, you sort of, but again, like, it's just so mechanics rich. Like, you get a camp as you get the band back together. And, you know, that camp can then start doing things like trading, you know, building up resources. It becomes like a full, like, mini economy. To the owner of Riftweald Manor, I'm not accustomed to working under these conditions of secrecy, but your generous compensation for the inconvenience is more than adequate to complete the project. Both the balcony ramp and the floor mechanism were interesting projects, and I hope you'll find them functioning to your surprising specifications. If you have any further need for my talents, please call me again. I'll take it. Nope, didn't want to take that. Suspicious cabinet, false back panel, there we go. I like stealth archer, but I gotta tell you, stealth assassin stabby knife blade is pretty good. That looks like a trap. Now, I don't think I set traps off anymore when I'm in stealth mode because of my skill. Anyways, in some ways it's the exact opposite of this game, where this game is very much going to lead you by the nose in a way that, you know, can be, I don't want to say refreshing, but it's just like, look, man, I just want to get some gaming in. Like, I'm a busy dad, blah, blah, blah. Which I think gives this game an approachability that helps it sort of stay... Stay in your library. Stay, like, it's easy to play this game for 1,000 hours because it's so easy to play this game. You know, if that makes any sense. Crimson Desert is not an easy game to play. There's a lot of friction, but I found it worth it. But yeah, it's not something I would want to... Like, Tainted Grail, you know, is... Read many thanks. Not certain how you managed to get your hands on that item we discussed, but I'm more than pleased. I thought you'd simply wait until it was being transported from Castle Dower to its final destination. According to what I've heard, it vanished right from their armory. I wish I knew how you were able to slip by the guards, bypass the portcullis, unlock the armory door, and break into that dwarven puzzle. Locked chests. You need to teach me. Okay, I'm going to take that. Mercer's plan seems what we're looking for. Okay, somebody's here. Like, Tainted Grail is more approachable as a stream the whole game, and I was streaming for a while, and I gotta tell you, like, mechanically, I was really in... I prefer it to this game. I prefer... And I said this before, but, you know, just... Yeah, I've already talked about it. There's just something about this one. There's that je ne sais quoi that Tainted Grail doesn't have, even though there's a lot of things I like about Tainted Grail. The setting is really interesting. A lot of things about it are pretty interesting. So, anyway.
Brynjolf, eh? He just plucked you off the street and dropped you into the thick of things.
Okay, so we got that. Okay, so we need to talk to Brynjolf.
Even if you're one of us, you better not make trouble.
Yeah, and it's stupid, but there really is something to this game that, special. In my mind. Maybe it's just because it's been out for so long and I've always felt this pull to play it and never did.
I don't care if you're best buddies with the Guildmaster. I'll still smash in your skull if you try it.
It's a little easier to put Tainted Grail aside, because they are still pumping it full of DLC. Not that I usually get into DLC too much, but they're still making a lot of tweaks to it.
We've scoured the town and I've spoken to every contact we have left. No sign of Mercer. Any luck on your end?
Yep. He wasn't there, but I found these plans.
Shore's beard. He's going after the eyes of the Falmer? That was Gallus's pet project. If he gets his hands on them, you can be certain he'll be gone for good and set up for life.
Then we have to stop him.
Agreed. He's taken everything the guild has left, and to go after one of the last greatest heists is just an insult. I've spoken to Carlia and made amends for how the guild's treated her. Now she wishes to speak with both of us. Quickly, we have no time to lose. Until next we meet, lass.
The other thing about this Trinity Restored, like, not to say that, like, Tainted Grail, not saying it's using AI and something, but this is before all that crap. Like, you know, this is all handmade by humans and whatever, blah, blah, blah. And
Not
it's just...
now, lass. Carlia said it was important.
I promise you, all your questions will be answered. You just have to trust me.
Not now,
Brynjolf,
lass. Carlia said it was important.
decide Mercer's fate. Until a new guildmaster is chosen, the decision falls to you.
Aye, lass. And I've come to a decision. Mercer Frey tried to kill both of you. He betrayed the guild, murdered Gallus, and made us question our future. He needs to die.
We have to be very careful, Brynjolf. Mercer is a nightingale, an agent of Nocturnal.
And it's all true. Everything I heard in the stories. The Nightingales, their allegiance to Nocturnal, and the Twilight Sepulchre.
Yes. That's why we need to prepare ourselves and meet Mercer on equal footing. Just outside of Riften, beyond the southeast gate, is a small path cut up the mountainside. At the end of that path is a clearing, and an old standing stone. I'd ask you both to meet me there.
If you're wondering why they call me Keeper of the Fleet, watch me outrun the town guard sometime.
Okay, so meet Carlia at the Standing Stone. All right. And if you want to know why, like, you know, I know I've said before, like, on some level, I'm kind of like, fuck AI. And if you want to know why, especially when it comes to stuff like this.
My fellow Nords, but in a fight, they can barely lay a hand on me.
I recently did like a top 5 RPG dice, kind of a half jokey video. I recorded it on April Fool's Day. It didn't come out on April Fool's Day.
Stay alive? Why take a chance?
And it was something I thought was kind of fun and dumb, but part of what I talked about is, you know, one of the dice I listed on the top 5 was exploding dice. Because when your dice explode, you get sort of like this fuck yeah moment. So, and fuck yeah moments are a huge, wonderful part of being alive. So go watch, if you want, on YouTube, like the video of the control team when we landed probe on Mars. You know, just, and you know, on some level it's like, oh, it's just a bunch of nerds doing nerd shit, like whatever. Just make sure I'm going to the right place. I think the Standing Stone is south of town. Yeah, that's where I can't, it's the marker I can't get rid of. But watch them. Watch the people in the control room that have poured years of their lives, blood, sweat, tears, whatever. If you're not moved by the just unbridled joy they experience when they get confirmation of touchdown, like if that doesn't move you on some level, I don't know. Like I find that difficult to believe that when you see people, you know, when you can empathize with someone experiencing success and joy to that level, and you see it in their faces, and they're basically practically in tears, crying, hugging, high-fiving, like, it's just a whole room of fuck yeah. And in my mind, when you make a game like this, and it hits the shelves, and everybody's like, you know what? This is wonderful. As that moose does weird shit. Or even if it's not, like, just the fact that, like, you can look across the desk and you can see your team, the dozens of people, the hundreds of people, like when you have a company-wide meeting or whatever, of the people that got together and pulled something off that seemed impossible. It's, you know what I mean? And AI might be able to do some of those things someday. And it's never going to care.
I'm glad you're here.
What's the significance of this place?
This is the headquarters of the Nightingales, cut into the mountainside by the first of our kind. We've come to seek the edge we need to defeat Mercer Frey.
What kind of edge?
If you'll follow me, I'll try to explain on the way.
So that's what I mean. So like, it's never going to care. And we're just sort of like, you know, Jesus take the wheel for basically any innovation to come, any accomplishment, you know, any need for other people and teamwork. It just breaks my heart on some level, and I think it's going to be imminently damaging if we're not smart, and we tend not to be smart as a collective. So that's, if we could be smart about it, you know, maybe we end up in Star Trek, but we tend not to be smart about it. And so it breaks my heart. And, but yeah, to take away that fuck yeah feeling from fellow people, and somebody's going to take it from you. I just don't know why you'd want to do that. Yeah.
This way, please.
Anyway.
He's just ahead. Please, keep following.
Also, it's, you know, making my electricity bill go through the roof, and I can't buy a 4 terabyte hard drive, and so when other people are like, you know, it's like, oh, there's going to be this democratization of, you know, creativity and stuff like that. I'm like, no, it's not, because NVIDIA just bought up the next 6 years of hard drives. So if you think there's like, what the fuck are you going to do? You know, you can't get shit because there's going to still be people that can buy out a limited resource.
I heard about this place when I joined the guild, but I never believed it existed.
So I think it's absolutely naive
Were just a myth was seeded
to
within
think
the guild on purpose. It helped divert attention from our true nature. What's wrong, Brynjolf? I can almost hear your brow furrowing.
I'm trying to understand why I'm here, lass. I'm no priest, and I'm certainly not religious. Why pick me?
This isn't about religion, Brynjolf. It's business.
Anyway, at least in the short term. And there's a part of me that genuinely wants
This is Nightingale Hall. You're the first of the uninitiated to set foot inside in over a century. Now, if you'll both proceed to the armory to don your Nightingale armor, we can begin the oath.
I genuinely want the AA bubble to burst, just so everybody stops and says, okay, let's rethink this. Let's take a second pass at it. And let's see if we can do this a little smarter. You know, just running face first into it as like the only thing keeping the stock market afloat seems stupid. So let's be more measured. There's a lot of reasons why I want the AI bubble to burst, but that's one of them. It's just like, let's slow down, let's really think about this for a second, and let's try and be smart.
You appear hesitant to don your Nightingale armor. What's troubling you?
This is enough to make your head spin, eh?
Whoa. Let's equip that armor. Nice. What am I wearing for armor? Thieves Guild armor. There's some good stuff to that too, but what does this do? I don't care about that. That's not bad. That's good. That's good too. So let's...
You appear ready for the oath.
It's pretty badass looking.
Okay, lass. We've got these get-ups on. Now what?
Beyond this gate is the first step in becoming a nightingale.
Whoa there, lass. I appreciate the armor, but becoming a nightingale? That was never discussed.
To hold any hope of defeating Mercer, we must have Nocturnal at our backs. If she's to accept you as one of her own, an arrangement must be struck.
What sort of arrangement? I need to know the terms.
The terms are quite simple, Brynjolf. Nocturnal will allow you to become a nightingale and use your abilities for whatever you wish. And in return, both in life and in death, you must serve as a guardian of the Twilight Sepulchre.
Aye, there's always a catch. But at this point, I suppose there isn't much to lose. If it means the end of Mercer Frey, you can count me in.
What about you? Are you ready to transact the oath with Nocturnal?
100%. I mean, I'm not sure I understand the terms, but yeah, let's start with that.
By transacting the oath with Nocturnal, you're entering into a business deal. You'll be provided all of the power and knowledge befitting a nightingale. You're free to use those powers as you see fit, to further your own goals, or the goals of the Thieves Guild.
And in return?
In return, you'll be required to defend the Twilight Sepulchre and everything within when the need arises. More importantly, upon your death, your spirit will be bound to the Twilight Sepulchre as one of its guardians.
There's no going back.
Once the oath has been struck, the terms are binding. Knowing this, are you ready to undergo the ceremony?
Yes, I'm ready.
Good. After I open the gate, please stand on the circle. We'll speak when the oath is complete.
Stuff is so cool. Like,
I think we should trust the lass and take the deal.
Sounds good. Yeah, just like hidden societies within hidden societies.
Time's wasted, and Mercer's still out there. Let's get this show on the road.
It's really good stuff. It's this game, you know, people sometimes maybe make fun of it at this point, but this game really earned its praise and its longevity.
I call upon you, Lady Nocturnal, Queen of Murk and Empress of Shadow. Hear my voice.
Ah, Carlia. I was wondering when I'd hear from you again. Lose something, did we?
My lady, I've come before you to throw myself upon your mercy and to accept responsibility for my failure.
You're already mine, Carlia. Your terms were struck long ago. What could you possibly offer me now?
I have two others that wish to transact the oath, to serve you both in life and in death.
You surprise me, Carlia. This offer is definitely weighted in my favor.
My appetite for Mercer's demise exceeds my craving for wealth, Your Grace.
Revenge. How interesting. Very well. The conditions are acceptable. You may proceed.
Lady Nocturnal, we accept your terms. We dedicate ourselves to you as both your avengers and your sentinels. We will honor our agreement in this life and the next until your conditions have been met.
Very well. I name your initiates Nightingale, and I restore your status to the same, Carlisle. And in the future, I'd suggest you refrain from disappointing me again.
It's a little pyramid schemey in its construction. Like, hey, you know, in order to make my deal, I brought two more, but I get it.
Now that you've transacted the oath, it's time to reveal the final piece of the puzzle to you. Mercer's true crime.
Oh, he's done more?
Mercer was able to unlock the Guild's vault without two keys because of what he stole from the Twilight Sepulchre. The skeleton key. By doing this, He's compromised our ties to Nocturnal, and in essence, caused our luck to run dry.
So the key unlocks any door?
Well, yes. But the key isn't only restricted to physical barriers. All of us possess untapped abilities, the potential to wield great power securely sealed within our minds. Once you realize the key can access these traits, the potential becomes limitless.
The guild should possess this item.
Although it would benefit the guild more than you can imagine, in the end it would do more harm than good. If the key isn't returned to its lock in the Twilight Sepulchre, things will never be the same for the guild. As time passed, our luck would diminish to the point of non-existence, and whether you know it or not, our uncanny luck defines our trade.
First time I ever set out to return something.
Very true. In our line of work, it's quite rare we set out to return a stolen item to its rightful owner.
Let's go.
Before we depart, Brynjolf has some business to discuss. I suggest you listen to him.
Listen, lass. There's one last piece of business we need to settle before we go after Mercer. The leadership of the guild.
Why tell this to me?
Carlia and I had a long discussion before you arrived here. Thanks to your efforts, Mercer's treachery has been exposed. After we deal with him, all that remains is restoring the guild to its full strength. As a result, we both feel that you have the potential of replacing Mercer as leader of the Thieves Guild.
Me? What about you?
I've been at this game a long time, my friend. A long time. I've stolen trinkets from nobles and framed priests for murder. I'm good at what I do. Maybe even one of the best, but it's all I know. I've never been one to lead. Never desired it, never cared for it. Don't want it.
I don't know what to say.
Well, we have a bit of an errand to run before your coronation, so don't get sentimental on me now.
I accept.
Then it's decided. When this is all over and Delvin's contacts assure me that we've regained our footing in Skyrim, we'll handle the details. Until then, we have quite the task ahead.
Then let's get to it.
I've been poring over the plans you brought us, and I'm convinced the eyes of the Falmer are in the Dwarven ruins at Erkenthand. Carlia and I will meet you there. Prepare yourself, lass. This will be a fight to remember.
Do you think we stand a chance against Mercer?
If you would have asked me that yesterday, I'd have said no. But now I think our chances have improved. Look, call me crazy if you like, but I trust Carlia. I don't think she'd lead us down a suicidal path. Besides, I'd rather die with some of Mercer's blood on my blade than spend the rest of my life regretting that I ran the other way.
I guess we're Nightingales now.
Aye, and some of what Carlia said is starting to make sense. Mercer may have damaged our reputation and raided our coffers, but this goes well beyond even his twisted form of larceny. Old Delvin kept calling it a curse, and we all laughed at him. Looks like the joke's on us.
All right. So what I need to do now is we're going to figure out So we're the head of the Thieves Guild. Now, I believe I have gotten in the ballpark of this far. But I don't know if I've ever completely beaten it. But this is the only guild I got close on. Like Mage Guild, all that kind of stuff. Fighters Guild, man. Did I start any Fighters Guild stuff? That stuff always... never quite hooked me the way the Thieves Guild Dark Brotherhood does, so... I hope to give it a try, but, and some people say it's weird that you can, be the head of all the guilds, and I absolutely get it. And I think maybe in Morrowind you couldn't, and that's something that I think people like about that game, but I appreciate it, I guess. So what we're trying to do is we gotta head up this. Oh, that's not that bad. What's here? Probably easier to go here to the Tundra Homestead, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my second break. So, just a little behind the curtains. This time I was recording, you know, you've seen other videos around the time of end of March, beginning of April. We had a leak in our bathroom upstairs, damaged the ceiling downstairs, had a whole bunch of stuff happen. And we got a little bit of mold in the ceiling, so I got to go take care of that. The stuff just arrived to deal with it, so I got to take care of it. So, be right back. You won't have to sit there waiting, but I do need to take a moment, so be right back. Okay, so we are back. It's been a little bit, you might have noticed, got a different shirt on. Apparently, when you use this kind of stuff, the directions recommend changing any clothing that might have gotten hit with the spray. I could have just come back without a shirt at all, but some things have to be kept sacred behind the paywall. So, start writing those checks, baby, and I will... No, not really. And then you might be wondering, why is my microphone different? I don't really have a good answer for that. I'm going to fast travel to the Tundra Homestead. Part of being... Nope, I don't want to do that. How do I... No. Have I not discovered the Tundra Homestead? Dragons... Where the hell am I? Yeah, Whiterun. Let's go to the... Okay, let's go to this hunting brew meadery. Yeah. Part of being into all of this shit is you just find it interesting and fascinating, and you can't just let it go, and you can't just fire and forget. You need to... You're constantly like, oh, I wonder what that's like. Oh, I wonder what this is like.
I've been looking for you.
Oh.
Got something I'm supposed to deliver. Your hands only. Let's see here. There's a new museum opening up in Dawnstar. The owner is asking me to hand out invitations to travelers. Looks like that's it. Got to go.
Okay. Okay, so we want to be on the north side of the river. Yeah, so part of being into like all of this, like figuring out the cameras, figuring out the lenses, I finally settled down on a lens. But I've never settled down on a focal length, but I found a lens that's a really good zoom that I was happy with. Yeah, you're never going to be 100% satisfied. You're always going to be curious and like, or just getting an itch to do something, to change it up a little bit. And the first part of this video is recorded with the Shure SM7B. If you watched my microphone walk of shame, you'll know that I never loved that microphone. I had a lot of trouble with it. It was a little bit more advanced than I was able to deal with. Or maybe something was just flat out wrong with my first one. I don't know which, because I had a really weird experience fighting that thing to get it to sound remotely normal. And for a while, I never succeeded. I decided, let me give it a second try. With some of my... And just as I gave the Rodecaster Duo mixer a second try, with the years of accumulated knowledge, and again, I don't know if something was different with this microphone or the old one was broken, but something clicked, and I was like, oh shit, that sounds the way I kept expecting it to sound based on what everybody was telling me on the internet. But it's still not the SE Electronics 4100 or the T1. I said it before, like, I genuinely love SE Electronics microphones on my voice. you're saying going like, oh shit, that sounds like ass. My voice sounds like ass. It's not the mic. Oh shit, here we go. Nope, I don't want to do that because, nope. Oh shit. This is not going well. Okay, so a couple things. Let's, real quick, pop some potions of healing. Let's see what my arrows are. Damage 10, that's not great. Damage 8, not great. 7, am I just all out of good arrows? I've got 2 of them. It's not great. Yep, just put that one. Nice. I need to do a lot more damage. Hold on a sec. There we go. Is that it? Yeah, so you always get the itch. You always, like, you know, people say, like, you know, if you ever hear people doing audio reviews on the internet, they're like, you know, my mic locker, and you're like, why do you need a whole locker of mics? It's because, well, they're professionals, so they probably have a reason to do it, but they also might just be, like, really hardcore hobbyists that, like, the curiosity never goes away. And that's the camp I fall into. So I really narrowed down my mic locker, but I'm glad I have the 7B sort of in a way that works well so that I can, if I get the itch, I'm like, it's one of those things where, like, I don't have to wonder, like, what could have been. I finally sort of wrestled the SM7B to the ground a little bit, but these are the ones I always really like. The other thing, actually, I forgot how chunky the SM7B is, and with my low profile arm and how I set things up, it's always just a teeny bit too big and not quite able to pivot enough and things like that. And so it takes up a lot more, I don't know, like eye real estate or hand and eye real estate. So like I bump into it more, I see it more, and I really genuinely, like, they The this is not the T1, this is the 4100. Just really nice, really compact. It's, you know, because it's a condenser, it's, in my mind, a little more, I like that detail. I like that it, you know, when we talk about, you know, Black Lodge Trivia Night, at least when I talk about it, I'm like, part of my goal is to make it feel like you're sitting at the table with us. With all of our dumb shit, like, you know, if you're the type of guy or girl that this is how you hung out with your friends playing RPGs in our dumb, infantile way, we want you to feel like you're at the table with us. And for me, part of that is I want to sound exactly as nasally and terrible as I would if we were sitting next to each other at the table. And I want the same thing. You know, I don't want it to sound like super produced or super compressed or I want it to sound like we're just hanging out. Because in a perfect world, we would be. I know this is virtual, but you know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, what I spritz the mold problem inside the ceiling, giving it some time to dry and see how it goes. You know, change my shirt because they say, like, on the bottle, like, if it got on your clothes, you might want to swap it out just to, you know, in case it irritates the skin a little bit. So I swapped it out. Made myself like a really late lunch / early dinner. Another one? Shit. Ice blood dragon. Now I'm low on potions, so I gotta, probably the smart thing would be to just run away. But I need to play this a lot smarter than I did the last time. I was just going face first into whatever he was blowing at me. Oops, get up the hill. I'm almost dead, and I'm getting a little tired of this. Let me see what I can do with Potion of Healing. And where's my other dagger? I'm not gonna, it's too late to get Steel Dagger of Scorching. I need to... Cut the tail off, soul style. Oh shit, okay. First and foremost, I need to... No. So I gotta tell you, this might get a little annoying. If all of a sudden, like, I can't go 10 feet without a dragon landing on me. I don't know if it's because I've advanced the plot enough that things trip off more. So I don't know where I... Okay, so I think I just finished... Yeah, okay. So yeah, so that's going to be an interesting thing. I wonder if I can come at it. Have I been here? Just cut straight north over the hill. Is there a passage through? Anyway, so yeah, so that's like this is truly, you know, can I get off that hill? The T1 microphone, you know, is the first one I had. I have that downstairs for my board game setup, which I should be taking more advantage of. I'm really bad at playing board games. I'm bad at playing them, but I'm also bad at making the time to play them, and I miss that. You know, Matt, Patrick, and I met through wargaming, and, you know, Matt, after we recorded our last session, Patrick, you know, he didn't have to go to work, and I'm a night owl anyway, so I'm happy to stay up late. So he and I were just getting to chatting, and it was nice and, you know, catching up a lot. Because, believe it or not, like, you know, while, you know, we don't... Matt and Patrick, I think, have actually met in real life. I've never met in person these guys, but, like, I would say we're all, like, genuinely, you know, pretty friendly. Like, you know, this isn't just an act that we put on for a couple hours a week. I feel like, you know, I've gotten to know these guys pretty well in a sort of surprising way that I wouldn't have expected just from the internet, you know. From just sharing a hobby. It's been good. So, you know, Patrick and I were chatting for a while, and he is into a series of games that there's one coming out, I think around my birthday or soon. I don't know if I can get up that hill. What about that rock face? That's a little less of a slope, but I think I'm gonna have to go around here and see what happens. That he knows really well, and it's one I've always wanted to try. So I might start hitting him up for stuff like that. I start, you know, it depends, and would be part of the reason why, like, if I move to the basement, it's a lot easier for me to, you know, say like, okay, hobby time. Here we go. The other thing is it would let me set up, I was saying I would need to do some sound treatment, but it would let me set up, like a recording area. Like if I could sound treat it, like I could have more space around my desk so that I could use bigger lights. Stuff like that. So I could do a better job. I would have more space, so like I wouldn't have to be so precious with every inch of it. And I could, it could be a more real recording space. God, man, this music.
Hide from me. Over here.
I mean, seriously, like the just walking from A to B music in this game is better than like the soundtracks of most video games. It's really incredible. Oh, did I not get the kill shot there? So there's a keep there, but I'm going to ignore that for now because I want to just keep going up the mountain to there. And I'm curious if there's just going to be a dragon in front of that place. Nothing you can do about it. Anyway, so yeah, my hope is, you know, my job situation is sort of stabilized for the time being, and we just have to stabilize financial, not recovery, because it's not going to be as good as it was, but you know, adjust to what the new reality is financially. I had to take a hit on my pay. Get the college bill under control, which was hanging over us as we were navigating the end of my unemployment into my new whatever. You know, there's stuff going on with extended family that is on the cusp of being resolved permanently. I probably just popped my P's. That's one thing can't do with the SM7B as easily. Permanent. Like I've gotten as I've done this, I've gotten pretty good at swallowing certain syllables. Like when I say pretty good, I'm, you know, if you watch my mouth, it's like a little stiff because I'm actively like pretty, like I'm actively not really saying the P. I'm not saying pretty, I'm saying pretty, you know, like it's implied, but it's not right. So anyway, I've gotten pretty good about that. But anyway, so the point is that there's, you know, a lot of things that have been very complicated for the last good while. Whether it was, even if it wasn't like me losing my job, like there was some potential writing on the wall. So it was like the anxiety of losing that, you know, and then the anxiety of the stuff with, you know, family, and, you know, it's just, there was a lot all at once. And we're finally digging ourselves. So some things are not as good as they were, but they're no longer as bad as they could have been. And yeah, so, you know, making progress in the right direction in some ways. So my hope is that just takes the edge off of everything for everybody.
Surprise.
And
Don't hide from me. Going to cry now, huh? I'll rip your heart out.
So that's the hope. And then, yeah, we get back to recording some stuff for my Trainwreck Games channel, or just playing games in general, just enjoying stuff. Get back to writing. I haven't written in forever. There we go. Definitely seem to have taken this from the other side. Curious what it would have taken to get that gate open. I don't have to worry about it, I guess, because I'm already in. Or I guess I could have just gone around the gate from here. Like, yeah, so usually, or is this like a unclimbable wall? One of the things that's great about Crimson Desert is, you know, just the mobility, like the exploration. You can climb, you can like sort of, wingsuit. It's just, it's really...
I cannot best you.
It's really impressive. So like here, like you hit a wall and you're like, oh no, I can't get up there. Every other game feels a little bit off because I've been spending a lot of time in a game that's just like, no, just climb, or just like triple jump up it, or just do this, or just, you know, what one of 7 ways, even though you don't need that many, do you want to...
It'll be so much easier to rob when you're dead.
Oop.
Mercy!
No. I wonder if that's dynamic, or if that's sort of just built into the graphic. Oop. Don't want to get hit with a two-handed sword. Do a quick save, just because I haven't totally screwed it up yet.
for you.
I'm starting to wonder if that person's actually on the other side of the wall down below and just blocked off at the moment. Hoping I don't have to worry about them. Or I should just keep my head on a swivel and keep checking my 6, staying frosty, insert all the cliches here. Anyway, so all of that is the long answer to why is my microphone different. Because at the end of the day, if I had to, like, you know, if I were the type to just pick the one,
Where are you?
it would be
Find you.
this one right here. Whoops. All right. Let's let's actually try. Interestingly enough, for all the systems that Crimson Desert packs into its game, it does not pack into the game a lockpicking system. You just have a key, and if you have a key, you just open the door. You decide, at first you didn't have the option to decide, it would just, if you bumped into it by accident, it burned the key. They since patched it so that it now gives you an option, like once you bump into the door, like, hey, do you want to burn this key or not? But I thought that was interesting. Because the game really is like a action-adventure game built on, like, just rich system interactivity in its sandbox. Like, how do you want to get over this wall? Do you want to, you know, find a way to sneak around? Do you want to use, like, a magic power to, like, magically lift a gate? Do you want to use your magic grappling hook to grab a tree and sort of pull it down and snap your way over it? Like, it's really... And you're like, well, yeah, but the end result is you just get over the wall. I'm like, yeah, that's the end result. But, you know, that's the fun, right? Like, you know, just sort of being able to truly play in a sandbox is not something that always comes to pass. How do we... I'm guessing we want to get up top there. You see the bridge and stuff like that. Looks like it's coming from the roof. And this sort of makes sense because we would have, had I not come my stupid backwards way, we would have come down here and worked our way up.
This is a surprise. You can't hide from me. Ha! Found you. You're nothing. Are you prepared to die? Victory is yours. I submit.
Too bad. I did appreciate how she's like, I found you, as like my arrow lands in her forehead. I guess that is a way to say that. Sword of Weariness, interesting. I know where you are. Because I'm bleeding in your direction. Let's see what's over here. It's a lot of money for a mace. Another game I've been playing a lot recently, you know, maybe I can't recall like what I mentioned when, but the digital version of Gloomhaven, which is a board game adaptation. Speaking of like a lot of interesting, clever systems, that has been really good. I get the hype surrounding the board game, and it is worth checking out. Playing it in co-op has been great. All right, let's save one more time. So I screwed up, like, you know, when I had to stop for a while, I screwed up pausing the recording, so the recording time on this is stupid long, so I don't actually know how long I've been playing. And one other quick thing about Crimson Desert, if you haven't checked that video out, yeah, if you do, great, and if you don't, if it's not your thing. I will say, like, if you're, like, looking at it like, oh my god, I can't believe how good it looks, that must run like shit. It does not. I just want to state, for the record, it's not that I have a terrible computer. I have a GeForce 4080 graphics card. I can get it to run at the highest graphical settings, not with like not the ray tracing graphical highest. There's different levels of that. Some ray tracing is built in and has absolutely no impact on frame rates, but I can get it to be 4K 60, basically cinematic quality with no DLSS, and I'm getting usually between 55 and 62 frames per second. I feel like that's pretty good. It's pretty good. So you turn DLSS on and 75, 80 frames per second. So it really, whatever, you know, the hype you've heard about, like, oh, this is actually pretty well optimized, that's very true. It is. They did a great job hammering out the technical details on that engine. Not the control scheme, but the engine. Absolutely. So I'm gonna quick save again. I know, just quick save. The ruins, like I call them dwarven ruins. I know that's not technically what they're called. I always find them very fascinating, but I tend to lose track of what's like, do I have to worry about that? Oops. Caught on something. Oops, shit. I was about to... It's a good thing I quick save. So, yeah, that's the thing. I'm always a little... Because it was something I was just starting to dip my toe into when I ran out of steam on my last playthrough. That's why I'm not actually sure if I've ever gotten this far, because I feel like where I ended my last playthrough was, I think at one point we were doing something in a town, one of these towns up here, and I think I mentioned like, oh yeah, I remember this town being very vertical, Markarth, and there were dwarven ruins in the back, and I kept getting lost. That's why I don't think I've ever been this far. I find it all fascinating, but but it's a lot of the stuff like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Just not familiar with it. Oh man, I'll never, let me jot it down. Remap Radio, former Vice's Waypoint gaming stuff. One of the guys in charge over there, Rob Zagney, he did an interview. I'll write this down. Article about. Okay. He did an interview with somebody who wrote like a really long sort of think piece about the lore of the Elder Scrolls. And I think it was maybe specifically in reference to Morrowind, and it goes into a deep dive, you know, about some of the stuff and how like the stories of how the lore of that particular game came together, because it was, I guess, different than but it basically came down to is that like nobody knows anything, and like they deliberately made the lore unreliable in Morrowind. And so like when we were getting that lore dump, it sort of jumped to mind, but at the same time, like, as much as it might be unreliable or whatever, but you know, somebody obviously thought a lot about the lore in this game. You know, even if it's unreliable, which I kind of actually like the idea of. There clearly is a history here.
Mercer's been here. I hope we aren't too late.
There's bandits back there.
Brynjolf and I found them like that. Mercer's doing. We have to catch up to him before it's too late.
I'm ready. Let's go.
We should tread carefully. I wouldn't be surprised if he's left behind a few surprises for us.
Okay, locate Mercer Frey. Let's do it.
I just assumed die before I'd let Mercer get those gems.
Wait a moment. What's that? It's Mercer. Look.
I'm on it, lass.
Damn it. There's no way through.
I don't know what it is, but like something very visceral about egg sacs. Just
The size of this place.
don't like them.
Seen anything like it in your life, lass?
Can't say that I have. Imagine the riches hidden within
I heard something.
Enough, guys.
With any luck, this will be Mercer's final day alive.
What was that?
Enough games. Let's end this.
I send you to your rest.
I'm trying to get up. There we go. Okay. Now, I don't really need to do this because I've already cleared up, but it does give you a chance to, besides break all your lockpicks. If I crack an expert level, I feel like that's going to go a long way towards my skill. The other interesting thing about this game is, I mean, you could say like a lot of it, you know, like when they're, you know, cave after cave, whatever, you know, but it feels like when it comes to like this feels a lot more like a set piece, if you know what I mean. Like the main story is obviously going to have set pieces, but I feel like this isn't just some crap together, because this is sort of like the culmination of one of the major side quests. So I feel like they put the time in, and when they do that, oh shit, it's timed. It's impressive. Okay, so what I got to do is, I think they both need to spin at the same time. There we go.
Looks like we can take the low road or the high road across this chamber. Your choice.
In real life, I'm a 100% confirmed dirtbag, so I'd probably choose the low road, but I always appreciate that. The high road always feels like the other way to go that I don't want to miss. I wonder if it's worth...
Your life is forfeit. Be careful. There's no telling what lurks within these walls.
So this is what we heard. The entire tower collapsed.
The only reason he'd do that would be to block pursuit. It must be Mercer. We'll have to find another way around.
Mercer was able to knock this thing down. Gods.
It's the key, Brynjolf. In his hands, there's no telling what he's capable of.
It's to the pain then. Who's there?
Come, taste grace. Darkness consume you!
Oh, interesting that it can resist the soul trap. I didn't know that. Ooh.
You are no match for a nightingale.
Yeah, like I didn't search the room behind me. I don't think I need to be there, but let me just make sure I didn't miss something worth picking up. Okay.
Shore's bones. Look at that monstrosity.
It's a dwarven centurion. Very tough and very deadly.
We can take the beast on or sneak around. It's your call, lass. We're right behind you.
Oh, we're definitely sneaking around. What are we doing? Are we not the Thieves Guild?
I bring death from the shadows!
What's that?
Shadows take you!
Give up?
What was that?
Promise a swift but painful.
Your fate is sealed!
Whoops.
Your death will be swift!
Oh, shit.
Will be swift! Nocturnal! Guide my hand!
All right.
Come!
Did that not?
Darkness's embrace!
I hardly felt the pain.
Consume you.
heard something.
Come, coward. Fight! Guide my hand.
Oh, shit. Here we go.
Wait. Enough games. Let's end this.
Come on, put up a fight!
Shadows take you!
Oh, still not done. Okay. Am I rocking iron arrows? Because it's not great. I guess I am. All right, let's, iron arrow is what, 8? Yeah, we don't want to, we can do a little better. Let's go with steel. I mean, maybe for this stuff it's fine, but, in theory, when we're getting to the
This is where we saw Mercer.
boss
We
battle,
must be getting close.
The stench. This place reeks of Falmer.
This must be their hive. We'll have to keep silent if we want to
Good, I
avoid...
could use some practice.
Okay, all right. I don't know if this is gonna...
Even the farmer don't deserve the pain these implements must have inflicted. The dwarves were a cruel race.
Now, did I need the help from the trap killing those things? No. But it's little touches, like, it's just fun. You know, it's the little, you know, like what I was saying earlier about Matt saying you can either do it the straightforward way, or you can do it the more rewarding Witcher 3 way, and little touches like that.
There's a mass of the farmer in this chamber. We can sneak through, or take them down. I don't care. As long as we get to Mercer.
I prefer to sneak through,
We're with you.
but I will screw that up. And I think that's part of why even though I struggle with aspects of Crimson Desert, like I like playing around with all the systems, and Crimson Desert is nothing but all the systems, so it's a lot of fun. I leveled up, and I leveled up sneak and archery a couple times, so requires 60, so I could pop that. What else do we got? Silent roll, silence. Walking and running does not affect attack. I'm not quite there. Okay, so I could pop it into stealth. Let me just see. Light armor, I put some Okay, I got that, so I could get another bunch of defense. Okay, so I could get another chunk of defense. What can I get for archery? Could do a lot more, could do more damage. Okay, can't draw 30% faster. So I think what I would do is I would choose that. And the reason why I'm choosing that is because I feel like the stealth is cool, but that's going to fall apart after the first shot or whatever. And the more damage is going to, in my mind, get more use.
I can hear water rushing through these pipes. We must be beneath a lake.
Nervous again that I'm missing huge swaths of the map, but it seems like we're doing okay for the most part. Oh, I wonder if I could have stayed up top there. Like taking the pipes across.
By nocturnals.
Oh shit, here we go.
Your fate is sealed. The shadows will be your undoing. Nocturnal, guide my hand.
Oh shit. Didn't mean to... Oh, crap. I went down. All right. Was I poisoned or something? Because I just popped a bunch of health potions. But yeah, I guess we'll get to do that again. Maybe this time I can stay high on the pipes. Or did I save after that option? No, here we go. Let's see if we can, yeah, let's see if we can take the pipes over all of that. Because, not that I'm happy I died, but I did just waste like 6 or 7 light health potions when I'm heading toward potential climactic boss battle, so... prefer to have them there, obviously. Okay. I feel like I'm getting a little wiggle on the left. I'm getting a little wiggle on the right too. So, that's not correct. Oh, got a little movement there all the way to the right. Nope. Shit. I mean, it's master, so it's going to be hard. do I have? 40? Did I get a little turn on that? Let me try. No, I'm just getting wiggled. That might not be actual turn. There we go. There we go. Okay, okay. Nope. Corrected the wrong way. Go a little bit more this way. Nope, okay. Seemed worse. Okay. 33 left. Oh, shit. Okay, okay, okay. Oh, 32, 31. Okay. Nope, too far. Oh, shit. And what I like is if you're watching the lockpick skill fill up there, even on my failures, like I like that. I like that even though I haven't succeeded yet, I'm still getting some credit. There we go. Nice. I never even thought to just use it straight from the list there instead of... I would put it in my inventory and then lose track of it. So quick save that, because that's awesome.
He's close. I'm certain of it. We must prepare ourselves.
Then this is it. We do this for Gallus and...
He's here, and he hasn't seen us yet. Brynjolf, watch the door.
Aye, lass. Nothing's get by me.
Climb down that ledge. See if you can...
Carlisle, will you learn you can't get the drop on me? When Brynjolf brought you before me, I could feel a sudden shift in the wind. And at that moment, I knew it would end with one of us at the end of a blade.
Give me the key, Mercer.
What's Carlisle been filling your head with? Tales of thieves with honor? Oaths ripe with falsehoods and broken promises? Nocturnal doesn't care about you, the key, or anything having to do with the guild.
Okay. Let's see. I don't believe you. It's not about Nocturnal. This is personal. It's ablaze with Nocturnal. I'm here for the eyes. No, I don't. Nocturnal does guide me. I sort of bought into it.
Then it appears the shadows shroud more than your presence. They blind your wisdom as well. Our actions have always been one and the same. Both of us lie, cheat, and steal to further our own end.
The difference is I still have honor.
It's clear you'll never see the skeleton key as I do, as an instrument of limitless wealth. Instead, you've chosen to fall over your own foolish code.
If anyone falls, it will be you.
Then the die is cast, and once again my blade will taste nightingale blood. Carlisle, I'll deal with you after I rid myself of your irksome companions. In the meantime, perhaps you and Brynjolf should get better acquainted.
What's happening? I can't stop myself.
Oh, shoot.
Son, fight it, Brynjolf.
Oh, shoot.
I'm sorry, lass. I can't.
Spit on your corpse.
So, you reveal yourself.
Is that the best you can do?
He's up there, but yeah, it didn't have really a shot. Like, it's going like full predator mode. So I can sort of see it, but a nice little touch, like it puts the little thing in the water.
I'll spit on your corpse.
Just as I was getting warmed up.
I live another day. Damn.
Whoa.
This place is coming down. Quick! Get the skeleton key and the eye and...
Can I carry that? I'm gonna have to dump something in a sec. Is there anything I can dump? Let's dump this elven mace.
Let's get out of here.
No luck there, lass. Something must have fallen on the other side of the door because it isn't moving.
We have to find another way out of here before the place fills with water.
Not having much luck. That's locked. What's that? There's a hole in the ceiling, but I don't think it's going to let me do anything if I get on its head. But then there's also this pipe. What about this pipe? No? No, shoot. All right. Did everybody make it? We got one. There's Brynjolf. Where's
I can't believe it's over. 25 years in exile, and just like that, it's done. All that remains is to ensure the safe return of the skeleton key.
Sounds like it'll be a simple task.
I'm afraid it's not that simple. When the skeleton key was stolen from the Twilight Sepulchre, our access to the inner sanctum was removed. The only way to bring it back will be through the Pilgrim's Path.
I take it you've never used the Pilgrim's Path.
It wasn't created for the Nightingales. It was created to test those who wish to serve Nocturnal in other ways. As a consequence, I have no knowledge of what you'll be facing.
Okay, then we best get started.
Brynjolf is needed back at the Thieves Guild to keep order while you're away. And I can't bear to face Nocturnal after my failure to protect the key. I'm afraid you'll have to face the end of your journey alone.
Don't worry, I'll return the key.
Take this with you. I'm not certain if it will help within the walls of the Sepulchre, but I certainly don't need it as much as you. I've had this bow almost my entire life, and it's never let me down. I hope it brings you the same luck.
All right, tell me about the Nightingales.
Gallus, Mercer Frey and I were once members of what's known as the Nightingale Trinity. The Trinity disbanded 25 years ago when Mercer Frey betrayed us by slaying Gallus and dumping his body in the ruins of Snowvale Sanctum.
Were they a part of the Thieves Guild?
Indirectly. The Trinity is usually selected from the ranks of the Guild, although its existence is a closely guarded secret.
What's their purpose?
The Nightingales protect the Temple of Nocturnal, a place known as the Twilight Sepulchre.
I don't understand why you won't come with me.
I've been a Nightingale for a very long time. I sold my allegiance to Nocturnal in exchange for many profitable years of thieving. Falling in love with Gallus was wrong. It was a distraction that allowed the Sepulchre to be desecrated, and it likely cost him his life. Until the key is returned, I will never set foot inside that place again.
Who is Nocturnal?
She's the mistress of night and darkness, and the patron of every thief in Tamriel.
Never met a thief that worshipped anything.
Nocturnal isn't one for worship and reverence. There are no priests and no sermons, no services, and no alms. She influences our luck, and in return, demands payment.
Sounds like a guild contract.
You're closer to understanding than you realize. The only difference is she doesn't demand payment in the traditional sense, and sometimes the cost can be quite high. Whether you know it or not, Nocturnal dictates how well we perform as rogues.
I have my skill, not powers or magic.
Again, you have to think differently. Haven't you ever noticed how our luck behaves? Like a novice picking an impossible lock, or a blind man suddenly turning to face you as you reach for his pocket. It's through these subtle means that Nocturnal influences us.
Sounds like she just likes us to suffer.
Nocturnal's whim is the greatest mystery to everyone. There have been volumes written on the subject. Does she exact payment when we die? When we suffer? Does she revel in our misery? No one knows. The return certainly seems worth the risk, though.
What's the story with the Pilgrim's Path?
Even though Nocturnal doesn't desire worship in the traditional sense, the Twilight Sepulchre propagated a small group of priests. Of course, they never come into direct contact with Nocturnal, but they insisted they had her favor. As part of their duties, the priests created all sorts of baseless rituals and ceremonies, all on Nocturnal's behalf.
This didn't interfere with the Nightingales?
These priests weren't a threat to the Skeleton Key, or the conduit to Nocturnal's realm, so they were tolerated. One of their ceremonies involved the Pilgrim's Path, a so-called test of worthiness. If a pilgrim was able to complete the path, it was said that they would live forever in Twilight. What that means is anyone's guess.
Tell me about the conduit inside the Sepulchre. Sepulchre.
The conduit to Nocturnal's realm, the realm of Evergloam, has been in Skyrim, well, longer than recorded history. The Twilight Sepulchre was constructed around it by Man and Myr in order to shield it from those who would exploit its power. It's through this conduit that we're given Nocturnal's greatest gift, our luck. What she gains in return is a complete mystery.
All right. One of the things, speaking of I don't read a lot of sci-fi. I did read Ringworld. I think it was called Ringworld, and really liked it. And one of the interesting things about it was the idea that what makes humanity unique in the universe is that we're lucky. And I thought that was an interesting touch, and get a little bit of that. Do I have one? Okay, so we finished that part of the quest. Let's enter the Twilight Sepulchre. So that's what's up next. Let's go to the world map. Where is the Twilight Sepulchre? Haven't been there yet? Huh. Interesting. I thought I'd been to Fall Creek. Mage, warrior, thief. And again, I thought for some reason the bow and arrow is warrior, and then you... Anyway, I'm not going to worry about it. Definitely been here. I feel like, because I thought I remember that fisherman. I assume we're heading to that mountain. So I feel like what we're doing, I feel like we've got to be coming to the end of whatever the Thieves Guild quest is, and I feel a little guilty. Like I said, I have no idea how long this session's actually been, but I do know that I have to jump off to take care of some stuff in a little bit. So what I'm going to shoot for is let's get over to where we need to be to start this, and then we will pick this up in the next session. Family's out of town for a little bit longer, so I'm hoping I can get one more chunk of recording in. Before I have to stop. And so maybe, again, because like, at first I was like, oh, maybe I should do some Lord of the Rings online, but I can do that in piecemeal chunks because I'm not on camera. This is a little trickier. I need to check on the parts I sprayed to see if it's actually doing anything. Apparently, like, there's ways to, like, you know, you can do it with vinegar, you can do it with bleach, or, you know, you obviously dilute the bleach. But then some people were saying, I'm sort of looking at it right now, the hole in the ceiling, not that I can actually see anything. Some people are saying that, like, if it's a porous surface like wood, which this is, it's like the wood inside the wall, bleach doesn't always do it. So that's why I was, like, getting some, like, industrial whatever cleaner that seemed to be recommended. Because I've heard that will get into the wood and help take care of business. So I'm going to check on that, and then I'm going to take care of a few things around the house, and then going to get a session of cooperative Gloomhaven in. Again, I mentioned that a little while ago. That has been really fantastic.
Spend the day then drinking honey brew mead.
Drink honey brew mead with a winch on each arm?
And then what was interesting, you know, I was talking, you know, I'm running through it with my brother, and, you know, he mentioned, like, what's going on in the game. He's like, you know, this could have been like a game we loved on the Commodore 64, you know, like, it's, you know, if you strip away, like, it's really well presented and beautifully made and yada, yada, yada. But if you strip all that away, what's actually going on under the hood, as much as it is, you know, because it's inspired by a board game. Now, the board game, oh shit, I don't want to deal with this, is pretty robust, but it's not nearly as robust as, say, like a Europa Universalis video game or whatever. Now, if these things would start attacking the dragon, that would help. You know what I should do? I think we made it. I think the dragon's, judging by the change in the music, dragon might be off our tail. So why don't we call it here? Like I said, I'll try and get another session recorded pretty soon so that, you know, we can keep this going. Oh, shit. Keep this going. Because, yeah, like I said, it's been a while since I've been here, but, in Skyrim, but, I don't want to lose sight of the fact that I've been really enjoying it, even though like time has been tricky to get back to it. But this has been a lot of fun. Really enjoying this. Again, even like when I've got like Crimson Desert or something, like things that I find really interesting from more recently, I definitely still feel the pull here with Skyrim. And I feel like we're making progress in the main story. Definitely further than I've ever been in that, and it's been interesting, so I'm enjoying that. And yeah, I feel like soon we'll be able to call the Thieves Guild done, and then, you know, we'll start picking some other side chain to follow down, and we'll go from there. So again, this is Black Lodge Trivia Night. We're mainly a tabletop RPG actual play podcast. At the time of this recording, and I think hopefully this is going to go for a while, we're going to be doing 2nd edition Pathfinder Season of Ghosts. We had our first session and a session 0, and it's been really great so far, so really looking forward to it. Obviously, we have the Lord of the Rings Online, still going with the book quest. That's been hit and miss, I gotta say, not to be a downer. For all the magic that sometimes happens in like my Osgiliath sessions, there's stuff like Minas Tirith that starts to bum me out. It's just, yeah, I'm gonna stick with it, but it's not like the pure magic that like the first 50 levels and some other chunks have been. So what are you gonna do? Anyway, for audio versions of like our RPG discussion podcast, our actual play sessions, just search for Black Lodge Trivia Night wherever you get your audio. We should show up. We've got a Discord if you want to jump in, talk about RPGs, see RPGs. But otherwise, thanks again for checking this out. We obviously always appreciate everybody who jumps in and takes a look. And take care. Thanks again. Bye-bye.